right, so we're talking today about why we don't find exact answers and then estimate. There are two different reasons why we don't find the exact answer first. Let's take a look at an example here. The first example says, if your adult sends you into QT with $10 and you need to buy a loaf of bread for $3.59, a gallon of milk for $4.89, and you really wanted to keto for $2.29 with the leftover money, do you find the exact amount the bread and milk cost to see if you have enough, or do you estimate? Well, in reality, we very likely don't carry pencil and paper around. We need to estimate. So if our loaf of bread is $3.59, we can assume that that is about $4. And remember, about can be that wavy little equal sign, about $4. And a gallon of milk is $4.89, so it is about $5. That's an estimate. And so together that's $9. Do you have enough money for the taquito for $2.29? No, we figured that out really quickly, right? We know we're not going to have enough money. So our first reason is, why find the exact answer when you can just round and save yourself some time? Now, if I did go into finding the exact answer, I'd be adding $3.59 plus $4.89 for a total of $8.48. And of course, that involved some borrowing or some carrying and regrouping, that kind of thing. Then you'd have to subtract $8.48 from $10 to realize, oh, I only have $1.52 left. And that's not including taxes, right? So why would we go through all of that with regrouping if we don't have to? All right, let's look at a second reason why we do not find the exact answer first with fractions, which is the unit that we're working on. It says estimate the solution for 3/5 plus 3/4. Well, let's start by finding the exact answer on this one. So if I were to add 3/5 plus 3/4, I'm going to begin by finding the lowest common denominator. First of all, I'm writing them vertically, and we'll talk a little bit more about this as we go on, but lowest common denominator is going to be first, which is really just, what are your multiples of 5? What are your multiples of 4? You're taking the two denominators that you have and finding the lowest common multiple of the two of them. So multiples of 5 would be like 5, move that out of the way, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Those are multiples. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I'm going to stop there because I actually see it already. I can see that the lowest common denominator, lowest common multiple is going to be that 20. Okay, so 20 is the new denominator. We'll rewrite these, putting 20 as the new denominator. And all of that's probably new for a lot of you. We're going to go into that again in more detail as we continue this week and next. Once you have that common denominator, you're just asking yourself, like for this one, what did I do with 4 to get 20? Oh, times 5. So I will multiply the top times 5 as well to give me 15. Because remember, no matter what you do to the top, you have to do the same thing to the bottom. Otherwise, that is not the same thing as multiplying by 1, which I drew my big exaggerated 1 there. How'd you go from 5 to 20 here? Oh, times 4. So I'm going to do times 4 on the top, and I'm going to get 12. And let's take a look. Now that we're in this position with these numbers, I can easily add them together because I have the same denominator. I have a 12 and a 15. So I can add them together and I get 27 over 20, which hopefully we recognize that 27/20 is improper. And I need to go and change it to a mixed number. And really quickly, that would equal 1 and 7/20. Okay, 1 and 7/20. All right, knowing that that's 1 and 7/20, we're going to continue on to the next slide here. So the first thing they want us to do is to write the exact answer here from the previous slide and then round it. So we had 1 and 7/20 as the exact answer on the previous slide. And I can tell if I had a number line, 7/20, it takes 10/20 to be 1/2. So we're really close to 1/2. This would round to 1 and 1/2, okay? So a lot of you, if you were doing multiple choice, you'd go ahead and pick C, right? Well, let's find the answer when we round each part first. So let's do that next. And I'm going to take 3/5 and 3/4, and I will round them. And I can tell by looking that 3/5 is going to round up to 1 whole. 3/4 is also going to round up to 1 whole. And together we have 2, which is a completely different answer at the bottom. Okay. So we always want to make sure that we're rounding each part first when it asks us to estimate. You're going to see lots of state test questions like this, and they will give you the correct answer if you rounded the exact answer. So they're going to give you that choice, and they'll also give you the correct choice. So you'll see questions like this all the time on state tests. Don't let them trick you. So that brings us to reason number 2, why we don't find the exact answer and then round it, is that sometimes rounding the exact answer will give you the wrong answer when you're following the estimating rules. So keep this in mind. I always tell students that about 50% of the time, you can get it right if you find the exact answer and then round. But 50 out of 50 are not good odds. That's still an F, right? So we want to make sure that we're rounding each part first, okay? Make sure you're rounding each part first.